Hey guys, this is really weird lighting. I guess I could pull one of my lights because they're right in the dining room. I should have brought it over, but I wasn't sure if I needed to. Now it seems like I do. So I'm going to notify that I'm live in my little Discord that I've got. And let me see. Okay. Anyways, so I gotta talk about the title. I should get my light probably. Ugh. I don't know why I always do this. Never prepared. Always having a problem. Always a problem queen. Always the issue. Never a success story. Let me go get it. I'm downstairs, by the way. Because I want to be. I want to be downstairs. Gosh. Fights are great. By the way, I love you a lot. I'm not going to do both of them. I'll do one because why not? That light is going to wake me up. So let me go ahead and lower that. Okay. Anyways, hello. Oh gosh, I do need the other light, but it's okay. This is still better than what it was. It's really dramatic. Yes, I'm in my lover era. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But I realized my last era was my lover era, which is really scarring and horrible. So, but anyways, so I think the depufinization or the deflation has begun. I think I'm starting to lose weight, starting to come down from my highs of bloat. And yeah, I am drinking juice and stuff, and it's not doing shit. It is not the same as sugar. I'll tell you that. It ain't doing shit. It's pretty crazy. But the thing about like candy versus juice is that I have to pee like 5 million times because there's a lot of potassium. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it did. I know. I mean, I guess I could. I do have them both down here. I guess I could spoil you. Oh gosh. Jeez. I could spoil you. Alright, let's do it. I just don't know. I don't think this light can reach. Let me see. Oh, it can. I asked the traffic lights if it'll be alright. They say I don't know. And what once was ours is no one's now. I'm gonna serenade you. Anyway, gosh, so it's been like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of talked about quitting sugar on my channel a lot. Caleb and the controversial issues. I would be curious to see if Caleb has any Scorpio in him. Or like if he has like a Pluto in the first house or something. That makes him scorpionic. Because he always has to be controversial. Um, yeah, it would be pretty crazy if I had the calendar. The calendar. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? Oh, I just had like it's been a rough few days. Are you serious? What is it saying? I think that it's like a lot of. Oh, okay. That's fine, I guess. Whatever that even means. But yeah, I think it's been rough. Like, I've only been completely without sugar since like 2 days. So tomorrow will be the third day. But the 27th, I really cut down and I was already feeling it pretty much that day. I just had like a hefty amount of sugar in my coffee that day. And then I didn't have anything else. And then the next day, I didn't have any. And then I didn't have any. And here we are. I just finished day 3. So I will say I've been having really crazy dreams. On I think one of the nights I had a dream about Taylor Swift. I haven't dreamt about Taylor Swift in literally since like 2015. And I think I literally every time I've dreamt about Taylor, it's always been like I'm trying or I want to be her friend or something, or like we're friends, but then she's weird and she's too busy. And it was basically the same thing the last time. I don't remember what it was about. I weirdly enough, I only remember the one back in 2015. But I know that one that I had, she was on tour. And I was like trying to talk to her and stuff, but she was like doing her concerts and stuff. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Um, and then last night I had a dream about my ex, which is crazy. So I don't know how much I've dreamt of my ex. I think I did probably at least once since the breakup, but I feel like it was back in like June or something. And it was interesting. But most of the time when I used to dream about my ex, it was like every time I would dream about my ex, it'd be like, I'm trying to find him at the airport, or I'm trying to do this. Or like one time I had this dream that he went to Cali and hung out with all my friends and didn't tell me. And none of my friends told me. And I was so mad. And I was like so upset in that dream. But last night it was like a dream where we had been talking on the phone. I was doing weird shit in the dream that I'm not going to get into. That's irrelevant. But I was like camping and it's just weird. It was like a weird camp house and it was just horrible. But I was kind of like, we had talked and it was like a good conversation. And I told him that I had to go because I was busy. And he laughed. And he's like, okay, or whatever, And then I remember like I hung up the phone and I was like, oh gosh, like I hope I didn't upset him by doing that. And I was like, whoa, like I haven't thought about that in a long time. Like if I upset him or not. My God, it was a really weird feeling. So, but it was like kind of positive. I think we had reconnected in my dream. So it was like we were just starting to talk again. And it was weird. Anyways, so that happened. So it's like it's definitely been affecting my dreams and stuff. Because dreaming about Taylor, I'm like, what the fuck? I think I was trying to. I don't know what I was trying to do with Taylor. I wish I remembered it, but I don't. But anyways, I don't know what it means. But I will say that I don't know. I feel genuinely better, like in general. I feel like a little bit of hope. I'm going to see my cousin pretty soon. I feel like I might not have to work as much next year. And then I'm thinking of ways to fill my time because I don't want to end up like a crazy internet personality that never goes out and goes crazy. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this row, but you guys can see how it's coming along. It has like a little wave in it. It's hard to show because it's too. Oh yes, we did. We did, Lisa. We finally filmed our podcast. I told Caleb though. I already spilled the tea to Caleb. Yes, that'd be nice. Yes, I did tell Caleb, and he was like, "Oh," he's like, "You'll have to let me know when and stuff." I don't know if the date is like, um, banned or whatever, a secret. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I love it. I don't want to give this. I'm gonna keep this. It's gonna be mine. I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I think it is the 21st as well. It's the day Pluto goes into Aqua. That's when we're launching. So it is astrological. Oh, there we go. Now you can kind of see the waves. So yeah, it's like little doilies at the end, kind of. But I have a long way to go. Long way to go. I'm going to be doing this forever. You guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of seeing that thing. It's going to be a long time. Yeah, well, whatever, whenever it is, but it's around that time. I got myself some perfume. Oh, nice. Quite nice. That sounds lovely. Quite lovely, Caleb. I need to make sure I pay attention to this pattern. Of course, I saved the hardest row to live stream. Most of the rows are easy on this, but don't tell my cousin, okay? If my cousin ever asked anybody, I told them to say that it's really difficult and really insane to do. And okay, January 21st. Okay. I don't really wear perfume. I do wear deodorant, but I wear Lumi. Okay, hold on. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I have to count it. I always check. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. On period, I am getting more used to this. So we're gooch now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually really excited. And I feel weird because I actually feel a lot of positive things for next year. And I feel like everybody's like, this is going to be the worst year ever. And we're all going to die. And everybody's going to have a horrible time. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that bad, you guys. I don't. I think it's going to be better than this year. I think it's been getting better every year, really. I think the lowest point was 2020. As far as like societally, I think 2020 was the absolute worst. But the worst years of the whole thing was 2020, 2021, 2022. Those are really bad. But like 2019 and 2023, they're like, they're kind of, those are kind of sharp years still, but they're not like horrifically bad. Yeah, pretty much. Whereas I'd say 2020, 2021, 2022, those are like otherworldly bad. So it's like a whole other level. 2019, as we were approaching that in 2023, as we're leaving it, they're both like very sharp and like they cut you. They're like cutting yours. Very horrible. Like horrible, but not as horrible, not otherworldly horrible. It's like the difference between being in hell and being in prison, right? So it's a little different. Mars and Cap is perfect. Passion into hard work and being daily levels calculated. Yeah, we have a lot of years planned. Like Lisa's definitely a planner. So we have a lot of years planned. This is a long thing. This is going to be a long time, which makes sense with Pluto changing sign. We're getting into, a lot of long-term momentum, and a lot of how things are right now is so temporary. So do not get attached to how things are. It's going to change. Yes, yes, that's awesome, Lisa. Yeah, so basically 2024, it's a polarizing year. So I'd say it's probably the first year that we have that is 50% good and 50% bad. So it's a lot of like good and bad, extreme levels of both. But we haven't had like lighter years or even a 50-50 year in a long time. I don't even know because it hasn't really been conducive with Pluto and Capricorn whatsoever. I feel like it's been extremely horrifying pretty much through most of Pluto and Capricorn. Hi Sam. So basically, I think I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Jeez. Basically, it's not gonna be as bad as this year. This year was still very dark year. Um, So anyways, maybe that's irritating me. I don't know. So this year is not going to be, I don't think 2024 is going to be bad. I just think it's going to be like, it will feel like, I don't know about that, Caleb. Caleb, I think economically that's probably the weakest point of 2024. But I think it will be bad economically for like, I think we're going to be in recession. 100%. Now, that will probably, in my opinion at least, it will bring the end of inflation, which will be a huge relief to a lot of people. But it will be because a lot of people have lost their jobs. Does that make sense? So it's not like rosy, but it's still, bubbles popping. We have to have these bubbles. These bubbles are not sustainable. They're crazy. Hi, John. So I wouldn't say it's better economically. I would say that it's probably worse than this year economically, but it's different. We're in the living room. Yeah, that's true, Celtic. Yeah, so basically I would say economically it will be kind of tumultuous, but I don't think recessions will hit people equally. So I think certain people will be okay. And I think it's really a 50-50 split, which is kind of difficult to live through. So, if you can think about the fact that the world has felt very upside down over the past few years, probably the past 5 years, even. If you think about that, think about the fact that 2024, I am on a couch. 2024 will be turning it back, right side up again. So, what is that going to do? It's going to cause chaos. People who thought that they're high on the hog, they're going to start falling down. People who think that they are, yes, people who think that they are dying or miserable are going to start having massive breakthroughs. I think 2024 is a really good year to lose weight. It's a great year for weight loss. I think even Jupiter and Gemini, it favors weight loss actually because it's a debilitated Jupiter energy. So it makes it easier to lose weight. Now, for some of you guys, it will be in your first house, so it might even out and just be like the same. But for me, it will be great for weight loss because it's not in my first house. So I should be totally like on fire. But I think, sorry, I know too, you guys, Lisa and Sam, you guys both have Jupiter in the first house, or not. I don't think Sam has Jupiter in the first, but it will be in his first house at the time. So it will cause an evening out of that energy. You'll probably just have a normal weight loss experience, or like it'll be averagely hard. But for me, it will be great. And I think it will be a lot easier. And I think for a lot of us, for most of us, it's easier. Yeah, I think that's true. When it was in Scorpio, I gained so much weight. That was in my first house. It was insane. So it can be pretty brutal in your first house. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that like Jupiter and Taurus, but they're like not any of us. I think people that like Jupiter and Taurus, they like things that are in control. They like things that are calculated. Yeah, status quo. They like things being stable and being unchanging. People who don't like spontaneity, those types of people enjoy Jupiter and Taurus because it holds things steady. I'd say in the United States, more people on the left are in that category. So I think the left has enjoyed Jupiter and Taurus, but the right has hated it. And I think the right will probably enjoy Jupiter and Gemini a lot more than this, even though it will be really crazy. I think both sides might like Jupiter and Cancer. I think when we get towards that year, that's when the economy will start improving drastically. I'm predicting it now, that the economy will start improving when Jupiter is in Cancer, which is a mid 2025, after probably around a year-long recession. So that's from around June of 2024 to around June of 2025, there probably will be a recession. When Jupiter goes into Cancer, it will cause the economy to improve drastically, and people will start feeling a lot happier. And that's when you're going to have a sort of return to the light, or like when things will finally feel better is in 2025, probably in the midway point. So yeah, we're almost there, you guys. We're almost past this really dark, horrible time, but then it will feel a little bit brighter. And then when Jupiter goes into Leo, which is after that, I think there's going to be massive fat phobia. I will just say that. So I do think if you're fat, you really should try to lose the weight by 2026 because it's going to get ruthless that year as far as fatness. People are going to I don't think it's going to be tolerable at all. But I do think that Jupiter and Leo, that time frame, it will help gay rights or like gay acceptance, which is good. So I think that's when that will start to recover a little bit. But it's also when things like fashion will become a lot more important. People will judge you if you're fat like crazy. Do not be fat in 2026. I think fat phobia will be like massive in 2026. And that's also probably when we'll have some fiscal change. The media will change. There's going to be a lot of changes. 2026 is a massively transformative year, but 2025 is really when we get to a lighter time. So we're almost there, but 2024 is better. It's better than 2023. I promise you guys, unless if your life is completely based on bullshit and fakeness and false ideas and false belief systems and lies, you're going to have a much better time in 2024 than this year. If you lied a lot, then you're going to be up shit's creek next year because karma is going to be massive and a huge bitch in 2024. So I would just kind of be scared, actually, if you have lied. Yeah, pretty much. But for those of us that have worked very hard since the panorama years, especially 2019, there's probably going to be some financial karma that's a good thing in 2024. And then those who were lazy and didn't do anything, they're probably going to lose a lot in 2024. So, yeah, that means, as I said, jealousy will be at an all-time high. Be careful. You know, I already told Lisa on the phone recently, I said, I think I'm going to get canceled next year because I'm happier and I don't want to hide that I'm happy. And I feel like people are going to hate me. They're going to feel like I'm bragging because I'm happier. And I don't think I can pretend that I'm not, because I've been so miserable for so many years. It's like, I'm not a people pleaser. And I'm just like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm miserable if I'm not. You know, I'm just not. It's like I've been miserable for long enough in my life. But the good thing is, like, it's a polarizing year. So if you do something controversial, half the people will like you, half the people won't, right? It's that kind of thing. I don't know how much it's going to hit where I live because I live in Idaho, and Idaho is a farmer state. We're also a heavy mineral state too. Yeah, I don't think it's going to hit every state equally at all. I don't think it's going to be like 2008 because I don't think it's going to hit everybody at the same time. I think it's going to hit about half of the people, which how that will represent is you'll get a recession. It will be a recession, but not a depression, and not like a great recession. It will just be a actual recession that they cannot ignore, that they will have to report on, and it will be hitting probably right towards summer, if not in April. Could happen in April. Taurus has to be used to change because that's part of our energy, but strangely also Taurus likes control. Yeah, I think this year there has been a lot of narcissistic control. I think especially with the Taurus energy and then the Venus retrograde in Leo, that gives a sort of narc vibe that really took over this summer and going into the fall and everything. And it's becoming too much for a lot of people, especially at the end stage of Capricorn, Pluto. People are tired of narcissistic, controlling people. They're getting extremely tired of it. I'm not sure. Celtic will have to explain that. I know financially, definitely. Practically, definitely. It's a little bit of a bubble bursting energy just because Taurus is such a realistic sign. So any Delulus, like I was thinking I was really close to getting married. That wasn't true, you know? So any kind of like exaggerations or Delulus, especially in our personal lives, they started to go away when Jupiter went into Taurus. But it also caused a forced stability and extreme boredom. And it was just like very intense. Yeah. That's interesting, Celtic. I think too, sometimes the boredom in and of itself can be a catalyst. Sometimes the fact that it is so fixed can force a change. And I would consider that the sort of shadow connection to Scorpio that Taurus energy has, because it does cause change because you realize your momentum. So it's like whatever we've been working towards, we can't change it when Jupiter's in Taurus. It's inevitable. Whatever we've done, it's happening. There's nothing we can do. Even when Jupiter is in Gemini, we will not have that great of an ability to change paths. You can, but it's usually through like, it's not as optimistic of a time. It won't feel as optimistic. So it will feel kind of like, yeah, there's flexibility with Gemini, but it's like, people are just bitchy. I don't know how else to say it. I know that that's bad, but it's like people are kind of bitchy. It's a bitchy sign. And it's like, it's not boring. Jupiter in Gemini is not boring at all. It's very much, like Lisa said, it's accelerating. It really is a huge breaking out of a cocoon moment. It's so extroverted. It's going to be a huge shift from this mega introverted energy we've had with Jupiter and Taurus. When it goes into Gemini, it's like super extroverted. Yeah. So that's Celtic brought this up when we talked about it earlier. It is a chrysalis. Jupiter and Taurus is a chrysalis energy. I think Jupiter and Capricorn is too, as well, but that's like a really ugly, horrifying chrysalis. This one is like a more comfy chrysalis, but it can feel smothering too. And this has felt smothering this year. It's been kind of an afflicted Taurus. Yeah, I'd even say Jupiter in Pisces is like really a caterpillar eating a lot too. It was really easy to gain weight when Jupiter was in Pisces. Super weight gain friendly. It's a little easier to lose weight when it's in Aries. But Aries is more about fighting. So maybe it's the caterpillar ate everything with Jupiter and Pisces, and now it has to fight other caterpillars for the last scraps when it's in Aries. Because Jupiter and Aries is all about fighting. The more you fight, the better off you are. So I loved it. I really did. It was great. I loved it. I felt like it wasn't long enough. I know that's bad, but I'm a Leo, okay? I loved it. So it was kind of like dynamic, but with an active, it was a huge pushing energy. It's kind of like you're pushing a stone up a hill type of vibe when it's in Aries and you have to fight everybody. It's like a big fighting energy. And then it goes into Taurus, and then everybody has to stop fighting, and then you have to shut up. And then it's like, then you're supposed to rest and restore. And then when Jupiter goes into Gemini, you push again. And you start pushing. So we got to push, but for now we're good. It's still going to be in Taurus for quite a while. So we shouldn't push right now. You should still just sit in the energy, so to speak, and just reflect still. But it'll be interesting when it goes into Gemini. I think a lot of stuff is going to change very dramatically. And I think it just feels so different from Jupiter in Taurus. It's such a stark difference. But I don't want to say that it's like people are negative when it's in Gemini, but they're not as optimistic. It's like people are not going to be able to be lied to. They're going to be critical in a way. They're going to be like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, people don't have good filters. I think so. I think it's like people are going to see you on the bus and you're a fat person, and they're going to be like, you're gross. Get off the bus. Just kidding. But they'll probably like a little bit more rude. People are going to be like, yeah. And then they're not going to trust people. So it's like, if you have an idea or if you want to do something, they're not going to listen to you necessarily. Like, let's say you're trying to launch a business, right? If we're in a recessionary environment, you're going to have a harder time getting somebody to invest money into your business. It's very much that vibe. You have to have a really good idea. You have to really convince people, because they're not just going to go with it. Whereas when Jupiter was in Pisces, like in 2022, you could tell them anything. and they'd believe it. You could tell them, well, now that Roe v. Wade fell, every other landmark case is going to go. They're going to outlaw interracial marriage. They're going to outlaw gay marriage now, even though it has no connection to abortion at all. So that's something that people would just believe when it came to that's something that people would just believe when it came to anything, you know. But it's like, I don't, yeah, it's very much that, John. We're all going to die, and people believe it, right? Because when Jupiter is strengthened, which it was strengthened in Pisces, it's historic ruler. So it is strong when it's in Pisces. It causes people to just believe things, and that can be a problem. And that's where we have all these weird ideological bubbles and a lot of stuff that blew up over 2022, and like a massive polarization that occurred that year because it was so crazy. And it was because it's inflationary. I think every time pretty much Jupiter is in Pisces, there's inflation. Like it kind of is inflationary. It's destructive. It's tough, but it also blows everything up. And it's very healing, actually. It can be healing. But it heals through breaking down barriers. So it's difficult. It's kind of a difficult energy. Whereas like when Jupiter's in Sagittarius, like in 2019, people are more open-minded and they're more willing to believe you, and they're more like able to be convinced, which can be good and it can be bad. So when it's in Gemini, it's like people don't believe you. It's the same thing when it's in Virgo. People don't believe you. So it'll be interesting. The last time it was in Gemini was, I think it was 2012 and 2013. Like the first half of 2013, it was in Gemini, and that was a crazy time for me. So I'm like, oh gosh, this should get interesting. It's gonna be crazy, you guys. We're gonna have a good old time. You guys gotta get ready. Anyways. So yeah, I don't think we're all gonna die, John. We're gonna be fine. Yeah, it should be interesting. But I think it's gonna be a major like awakening year in 2024 too. And I have a good feeling about it. I do. I think it's gonna be a good year for me, at least. So I think for Lisa too. But to be fair, we have a little bit, our signs make us have a better relationship with Jupiter and Gemini. So I think it's a little easier. But I told Lisa I think it's going to be insane for her, kind of. But it will be insane, but I think she'll like it. So it's kind of like that. But Geminis like insanity and crazy things. Geminis don't like boredom. So it's like, this is really hard. So it's like, I think a lot of Geminis will get canceled in 2024. But I also think a lot of Sagittarius as well. I think it'll be a little challenging. It's more hard for the mutable signs. Yes, nice, Sam. 2024 is going to be the year of improving my image. That's nice, Caleb. I'm hoping maybe you'll move out that year, Caleb. That would be cool. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think you might find somebody, Lisa. It's really hard when Jupiter's in Taurus. It's just so hard to change anything. It's like, oh gosh, we can't change, Like we can only change inside. We can't really change outside that much. It's difficult. Sam is systemically oppressive. Hello, Shannon. We're doing some talk about 2024 just because I've been looking at a lot of people predicting it. And I don't think it's going to be that bad. I really don't. I think my biggest reason why I believe it will be a better year is because Pluto in Aquarius is much nicer than Pluto in Capricorn. And it's finally ending. So I do feel like there is a kind of feeling of breaking through or something really toxic finally being over in 2024. Something that we've all been affected by or dealt with for the past 15 years. It's like a long thing, something that's affected us for a long time is finally going to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. New job, new clothes, joy. Okay. Nice. Oh, John. Hold on. 2. I have to count. Okay. I think I did enough. Let me just count and then I'll continue. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, period facts. I think. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Gosh, I'm tripping. Whew, I'm crazy, y'all. I'm so paranoid when I do this. I don't want to do it wrong. So I think for me, 2024 is going to be a sort of like return to extroversion. I already see it happening now. I think we're getting towards a little bit more of it's getting towards a little bit more of an extroverted phase. I'd say we're getting into an ambivert phase, right? So if you think of like the beginning of Jupiter and Taurus is extremely introverted. It pushes you to stay home and stay safe, right? You have to stay within bounds. We're currently transitioning away from that. And so I think next year will feel a lot more extroverted than previous years, particularly the panorama and that kind of stuff. So I think people will be going out more in 2024. People will be talking with people in public more, getting a little bit more realistic, right? So I've talked a lot on my Twitter actually about how a lot of social media is manipulated and people believe things that are not real, or they believe that people are a certain way based on social media, and it's not realistic. So I think that will start to loosen its grip in 2024 as people go out more and talk more, become a bit more social. And some of that can be kind of ugly. Some of it will be good too. So I wrote off having a relationship altogether until I started getting people flirting with me at work. Oh my gosh. We'll see how it goes in 2024. I'm just not into fake relationships. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The astrologer that I like, he was saying that relationships become much more of a focus in 2025. Um, I don't know if I agree with him completely. I just don't necessarily. I don't know if I see 2024 as like a romantic year. I could see 2025 as much more romantic, and especially 25 and 26. Like those years, I think dating will become like a huge focus, actually. But right now, it's just like, oh, next year is really political and it's polarized and it's a lot of fighting and like, it's like I just don't know. I don't see it as like romantic. This year isn't romantic either. So so I don't know. I mean, I think anything can happen for anybody. One of the biggest reasons why I think it will probably happen for Lisa is because again, it's in her Jupiter will be in her first house. That's a huge sign on a personal level of meeting somebody. It's extremely common to meet somebody. Lisa's going from like when Jupiter's in the 12th house, it's like really difficult to meet somebody new, really horribly hard to meet somebody new, or almost impossible. To meeting somebody new is extremely likely when Jupiter's going, in the first house. It's just so much more likely for something to happen in that regard. There is still a lot of Libra focus. So I do think relationships are still in play and there's still stuff going on. But I think for a lot of people, especially younger people, I think it's more so like you guys are figuring relationships out more, or starting to figure out more of like the truth about dating. Or I think a lot of Gen Z has been lied to about dating. And so they're going to start getting more reality checks. And I see a lot more of you guys probably finding somebody, than in the next couple years, basically. Because it's very romantic after that. It's like much more romantic when Jupiter is in Cancer and in Leo. Those are much more romantic times, especially too when Saturn goes into Aries. That's a sign, in my opinion, that the economy will be booming. People will have money to go on dates and do things. It makes things more romantic. So it's really different. It's going to be so different, you guys. It's so fugly right now. And I think at that point, it will be like fashion, don't be fat, romance, dating, having fun, doing things, that kind of vibe. It would feel a lot lighter during that time. So yeah, but right now it's really still fugly. 2023 is really dark and it's not romantic at all. And it's very like stay home and stay safe and don't do anything. And it's more of a look inside, find yourself, change yourself type of vibe. So it is internal change. If you're going to give, be careful to make sure that it's going to be reciprocation at some point. Also grab some gin to make a celebrational cocktail for New Year's. Nice. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good year, you guys. I do. I think it'll be crazy. I think a lot of people will be upset. But I don't know how to say this without being a bitch, but I think the honest and smart people will be happy with 2024. That's what I'll say. I think people who lie and people who are really dumb will probably be unhappy. So that's kind of how I would describe it. But it's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, I could see that, Caleb. It's going to be busy. It's going to be a lot of work, but Lisa already knows that. I told her. See, Lisa gets the pep talks beforehand, but I told Lisa, I'm like, when Jupiter's in Gemini, it's going to be, you are going to be like extremely hardworking, like massive working energy, just constantly, all the time. You're going to have like 10 plates spinning at the same time. I mean, it's like, but that's why Lisa is being forced to rest right now, which she was like, I don't understand. I can't do anything. She was like mad in December. And I told her, I was like, it's because you have to do so much next year. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. She can only spin 4 plates. Right. Which again, Lisa's still extroverted. So this is like forcing her to rest. It's like a forced rest, and a rest is like just 4. Yeah. Next year it'll be like 10. So it's going to be really crazy, and it's going to start probably in the summer and it'll last till the next summer. And you never know. Hopefully maybe Lisa will find, I'm thinking Lisa will find love next year, and she might be having a baby in the year after that. So that will keep Lisa busy. Maybe she'll be a part of the Jupiter and Cancer vibe where motherhood comes into focus. There's like a huge motherhood focus in 2025. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if Taylor Swift will get pregnant around that time. Yes, I do. I do, Lisa. We established you have to go to the gym. So that's one of your first steps. I do, though, actually. Lisa has eclipses in her 5th. So there's signs. So many signs. So, yeah. We can do this. I think I'm going to be a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just think for me, it's like, I think I'm going to get canceled. I think it's really likely that I'm going to get canceled. I will actually be surprised if I don't. So I will be pretty surprised if I don't get canceled. I'll be like, oh, wow, I don't know how I survived that. But maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be fine. But I don't know. I might have some romance myself just because Jupiter is getting towards the end of my 7th house cycle, and I've had a lot of astrological aspects hitting my descendant, which is like your marriage point. I had an eclipse hit it. Jupiter is stationing at my descendant point. So it's right across from my Scorpio rising. It's like, it's almost exact. So I've had a couple big aspects in my personal 7th house going on that may signify a marriage. So we'll see what happens. It may signify, very significant relationship, setting up towards marriage, that kind of thing. So we shall see. I've had so much 7th house stuff since 2020, especially since 2021. It's been crazy. So it's been like a long time coming. It's like if I do get married in next year or the year after or something like that, it will be a long time coming. It's like literally 2021, 2022, 2023. Like it's been a constant focus. Oh my gosh, John. I don't want to talk about the calendar. Oh my gosh, you guys. You guys are the problem. Gen Z is going to destroy the world next year. That's what I'm going to say. That's a prediction. No, but I do wonder how Jupiter and Gemini will affect Gen Z. That's an interesting question. Let me know your thoughts, Lisa, if you have an idea, because it's going to aspect their Pluto. No, it's not. It's not the Taylor calendar of death. But I do wonder, how do you think Gen Z will be hit? Okay, so when Jupiter is the opposite of their Pluto, what do you think that will do? Yeah, I'm not talking about you, Celtic. I'm talking about John and Caleb, those evil ones in here that are Gen Z that have this evil aspect. I feel like they're going to go insane with Jupiter. Yeah, I think you guys will just like be enraged. about like everything. Like go crazy. Yeah, probably will. Gen Z. Yeah, sure. I know. I think they're gonna have a hard time. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna make a prediction, but I will say, pretend that this remote is a torch. I will gladly pass this torch to Gen Z. I think you guys are gonna have a hard time with Pluto and Aquarius. You're gonna struggle. Like millennials, we horrifically struggled with Pluto and Capricorn. It kicked our ass for 15 years. So I will pass this to you so you guys can get your asses kicked for the next 19 years. And us millennials can finally be okay for once in our lives. So I will gladly pass the misery. But I think what will happen for you Gen Zs is a lot of you guys have been brought up in like crazy indoctrination and like all this weird stuff, especially over the SJW years, which we've been in. And I think when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's like bubble burst, bubble burst, bubble burst, bubble burst, bubble burst. Like all these different bubbles are going to pop. And a lot of Gen Z, like there are some Gen Zs that believe that 30% of Black people are killed by cops every year. That is not true. That's not even close. But that type of Gen Z person is going to be in reality with Pluto and Aquarius. And they're going to be like it's that weird, like, and then I think too, so many of the other generations that we've all been holding our tongue with Gen Z because we're like, oh gosh, I don't want to be offensive. Oh my gosh, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. All the other generations, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, we're going to collectively say, fuck that, and just start treating Gen Z like trash. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I'm not going to be a part of the solution. I will continue that cycle. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's like nobody's going to care about offending people with Pluto and Aquarius. They're not going to care anymore. So I think that will really trip out a lot of Gen Zs because they're like, but you cared about how I feel. But I thought I could manipulate you if I said I was offended. Nobody's going to care. So I think it'll be hard. That'll be hard for Gen Z. But yeah, and I think millennials will finally take the reins. We'll be like, give me the power. And we'll be like the next boomers and we'll never let go until we, like, I don't think we're going to let go of that forever. So you guys get to live under millennial rule forever. So I just hope that you'll enjoy that. So, because it's been like, I don't know. I think us millennials were just like, finally, we're going to be okay. It's been horrible. Like, you don't even know. Like, oh God. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think you guys are going to struggle. So it's your struggling time. But it makes sense. It's like emergent adulthood. It's like, it's that stage of life where it's like you're trying to establish yourself. It's going to be interesting for you guys. I'm excited just because you guys, not all of you, but a lot of you guys are kind of lame. I'm going to be honest. You need some aqua coldness to fix you, to get you all fixed up. Like a lot of us millennials, we needed brutal Capricorn, horrible energy to force us to grow up and like be more realistic. So it was brutal. But anyways, we all get it eventually. We all are like hit. I think when we get to that point where our Pluto is sextile to the present Pluto, which for us it's Capricorn. For you guys, it will be Aquarius. So that'll be exciting. But I'm just so glad that it's not going to be on millennials anymore. Finally, we're going to be like, finally, gosh, it's been brutal. So yeah. So that'll be exciting. Gen Z, oh my gosh. Gen Z. I guess you guys get a little taste with Jupiter and Gemini. That'll be fun. I'm gonna love it. I can see like the Gen Z Swifties. They get like massively triggered by Taylor, and then they like all swarm on her. That's what I see. That'll be part of it. That's a prediction. They're already ready. They're already like kind of ready to turn on Taylor. Lisa was like, "You got to put this in the calendar. They're canceling her dad for being a Republican," and I was like, "It's not the first yet." I'm like, "She can't even wait. Taylor can't even wait to get canceled one more day." I'm like, "Taylor, just hold out one more day, please." I can see a nest of bubbles everywhere. Yeah, that's true, Caleb. Well, Aquarius is kind of like, it's like a truth telling sign in a way. It's like one of those signs where it's like, yes, Caleb. It's one of those signs where you just brutally tell somebody that, like, but it's like dispassionate. So the energy of Capricorn is like really harsh, and it's like an endless nagging and like Karen, and I'm talking about Pluto in Capricorn, right? So Pluto is like a really dark kind of energy. So it's in Capricorn, it's like Karen, it's like Cove. If you think of the energy of Cove, that was massively Pluto in Capricorn. Massive. It's very harsh. But Pluto in Aqua, it's like, well, you need to take responsibility for your actions. I don't think that excuse works. It's like very dispassionate. I'm not convinced by that. It's that type of feeling. Whereas like for millennials, it was like, you need to stop making excuses, and you're just being like this, and you're just that. Like, you see how different it is? That's kind of what, ooh, I don't know if my thing's glitching. That's kind of what millennials needed, because millennials have that Scorpio. So we're like emotional. So it has to hit us emotionally. But for you guys, it's like, it's just going to be very cold. Oh, I believe it, Shannon. So for you guys, it will be cold. It will be like, that's an excuse. Or that's just an excuse. Or you're not being reasonable. There'll be a lot of like, you're being unreasonable. And like, how do you fight with somebody like that? It's like really ugly. So that's what you guys are going to deal with. Okay. Unrun. Oh my gosh. Love that for you. Bubble pop. But yeah, they have Celtic. I think they have, but they're just gonna keep on going. So, but I'm just so like, I don't know, because I know a lot of Gen Zs, and they're kind of like, I can see like the excuses are like falling apart now, and like people are not listening to it at all anymore. And um like my one friend's nephew, he doesn't do any chores, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't work, doesn't go to school, doesn't do anything. He's 22. And his mom is finally like, you're getting a job. And he's the kind one who'd be like, well, I'll just leave and I'll just live under a bridge. And da 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 da. Like he'll say something like that. And I feel like that kind of thing would work with Pluto and Capricorn. But with Pluto and Aquarius, it's gonna be like, bet I'll drive you to the bridge. Which one do you want to go to? That's more of Pluto and Aqua. Yeah. So it's gonna be like, I'll drive you to the bridge right now. Let's go. It's that coldness, right? So Aquarius, you can't really emotionally manipulate Aquarius energy. It doesn't work. So what is Gen Z going to do if they can't use emotional manipulation? They're going to struggle. And that's the struggle. Yeah, that's the struggle of Gen Z. Yeah, I'm just saying you can't. So it's gonna be tough for you guys. Jeez, those fireworks sound like actual gunshots. Scary. Um, People who try to emotionally manipulate me earn a forever storm in my eyes. Taylor level of glare. Oh my god. Storms in my eyes. That's so funny. I think it's because too, like a lot of millennials have been so emotionally manipulated for so long that like by the time we're getting towards our, 30s and 40s, we're just like over it. And it's just like never gonna work again. Water wants results. Water cannot wait. Water has tons of hungry predators in it. Interesting. No, so John, it went into Aquarius I do know the song, Lisa. I love it. Yeah, it retrograded. So it was in Aquarius in March to, I believe, June. So it was about 3 months ish. It was late March to like mid June or something like that. And so from June until now, it's been back in Capricorn, which has been disgusting and horrible, and I've hated it. But it's going to go into Aquarius again in January, around January 20th. And it will stay in Aquarius until September. So it goes back into Capricorn for the election. Horrifying. Truly horrifying. So the election will be crazy. The election is going to be insane. So for sure, there's going to be massive propaganda, but it's like the last lash out of Pluto and Capricorn energy. It's the final moment. And then it goes into Aquarius in mid-November for 20 years almost, for 19 years. So then we're done. So it's not completely over, John. And, when there's like a mixture of the energies right now. So this is like an Aquarian, Pluto, and Capricorn. Next year it will be a Capricorn-y Pluto and Aqua. Like there's still like a dark tinge to it. Just like this year, Pluto and Capricorn, there's still like a tinge of hope within this darkness where there really wasn't. Like if you think of 2022, it was just really dark. It was just like horrible desperation. You can't get enough. It's that feeling of like, I can't get enough. It's very Pluto and Capricorn, where it's a little bit less. And then next year it will be even less. So yeah. Yeah, this should be a very pivotal moment in your life then, as far as like your Pluto would be going over your sun then. So this will be pivotal. This is a major part of your life, these years. I hope so too, Shannon. I have a feeling we will. I have a feeling. I know that there's a lot of Delulu people, and I guess anything is possible. I'm not going to sit here and be like, there's no way a Democrat could win. My prediction, if I have to tell you today, I predict that we'll probably have a split government. I think we're going to have a Republican president, probably barely Republican Senate, just because of the states that are up. And then Democrats may eke by a victory in the House, barely. But that may happen. So we might get a split. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to split their ballots in 2024. I think a lot of people, they don't want Biden, but they might want a split government. That's my opinion. So that's what I'm thinking. But I think Biden is not it. So that's my honest prediction. I think too, the more that they try to ban Trump from stuff, it kind of turns off the center from the I think it makes the center like weirded out that they're like not allowing people to vote for him and stuff like that. Like it's too much. So that kind of stuff does cause his support to go up. So it is kind of an L for Dems. Jupiter enters Gemini on May 25th. We'll need to stream. Okay. Okay. Is it PM? Because I'm not streaming at 7 in the morning. I will die. Okay, PM is good. But yeah, that's my prediction, Shannon. So I think a split government is likely. That's what I think. Just because it's so 50-50. I think regardless, it's going to be close. That's my honest opinion because 2024 is a very polarized year. So there is major split, like 50-50 type of vibe. Very close election. Um, I don't think we're going to know the outcome right away. I think they're going to drag it out for weeks after. So it's really disgusting. I don't think it's going to be a nice time when we're having our election. I think it's going to be horrible. So that might be one of the worst times of the year, to be honest. September to November, it's going to be like, I think that's going to bring back that darkness and have a little bit of a darkness falls time and like this like demon like grabbing you from the grave feeling. I have a feeling if I lose a lot of weight, I may develop body dysmorphia at that time. You know, it's like you could have something like that occur. Yeah, I agree with that. But we were doing a lot of readings for Lisa, and it turns out, you know, she really moves along in her romantic life when the world is falling apart. So I think it might give Lisa that like fear where she's like, come here, my man, you know, I'm terrified. So it's going to be kind of dark. Yeah. So I think it's in the darkness, you know, that we kind of have that crisis come back and there are final breakthroughs during that time. But it's a little scary. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're going to be it was funny. We did a reading and it was literally like I basically told Lisa, I was like, I think it has to do with the election, low key. So I think the election chaos might spawn Lisa to fall in love, which is kind of crazy, but it makes sense because it's just, you know, it's that kind of vibe. Like there's certain things that are we have to feel that one last time. So that will be a dark time of the year. It's the election. And then yeah, and then after that, then everything changes, and then we go into a massively karmic time in January, where we get the last bits of this South Node in Libra, massive karma, huge injection of karma, and then we move forward into a new era. So, yeah, and then 2025, in my opinion, is a year of recovery. So that's when things start improving. So yeah. Are they also not interested in voting? I don't think they are anymore. Oh yeah, I'd appreciate a like. Thank you guys. I don't think I don't know if Gen Z is as interested because I feel like they really were told you gotta vote to save the world or you're all gonna die or whatever. And I think both times it like nothing changed, nothing got better for them. So I think a lot of them are probably disillusioned by the 24 election. There's still like rabid SJW Gen Zs, but I don't think it's the majority. I think most Gen Zs are just like centrist or, you know, maybe lean right, lean left. It's that kind of thing. I think it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. That's my opinion on Gen Z. I think it's like they don't know. Like I think they are kind of SJW, but it's like Pluto and Aquarius, it's gonna shake it up. So I think there is like a lot, and then also Jupiter and Gemini, I think will shape you. It will shake you guys up too, especially when combined with Pluto and Aquarius. So I think there will be certain events next year where a lot of Gen Z will probably be confused, and they are not going to know what they think. Um, okay, that's totally fair, John. I think that makes sense, and yeah. So you'll see if it changes at all next year, but yeah, I just think there's a lot of Gen Zs and the types of Gen Zs, I'm not really necessarily talking about you guys because you guys are kind of in the know. You know what I mean? You guys kind of know things. I'm talking about a general Gen Z, somebody who's like, "Ah, well, I need you to not talk about this because it triggers my, you know, don't ask me if I've eaten or not because that triggers my ED. So it's like that kind of Gen Z, they're going to be hella shaken up next year. So I'm talking about a very, like when I'm talking Gen Z stereotype, I'm talking about a very specific type of person. The one that, like I said, that's like, well, if you want me to do all this, then I'll just go live under a bridge. It's fine. That type of Gen Z, right? So it's a very specific kind of Gen Z I'm talking about where they're going to get hella shaken up. You guys are kind of in the know more so. You probably will still feel something, but it's, if you're not living in massive delusions, then you're probably going to be fine, It's just unfortunately a lot of Gen Z is, you know. It's not their fault either. They were massively lied to. Same with millennials, we were too, but it was different. We had like different lies, different programming. So it's a trip. Ooh, that scared me. It's me heater. Welcome to my world, John. Yeah, that's that is how Sam is. Yeah, he's evil, homophobic, racist. I'm just kidding. Okay, I need to take a pee, so I'm gonna be back because I told you, quitting sugar, I have to pee 20 million times a day. It's horrible. I feel like I'm pregnant. It's disgusting. I don't want to pee all the time. I've peed so many times today. And I'm going to pee again, so I'll be back. But I mute you guys. Okay. You can hear me, right? Lisa, I had a friend do some energy healing on me today. Oh, that's nice. My pet is going crazy for the record. I know you guys love the pet update. Okay. So I don't know what that means, Caleb. I am just. Oh, interesting. I am very into. I've always been more center right, I guess. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did get further right though with Cove. That did push me. Gosh, that was horrible. 3, 4, 5, 6. Three. 5 and 6. So Sam will remember, but he'll remember this. But with this pattern, I have to do yarn overs. It's a yarn over. It's not a yarn over. It's a yarn over. We've got to do Jarnovers. 2 and 3. I'm going to check the chat right after the stitch. Right after my Jarnover. Okay. Nice. Claps for Sam. It did push me too, and then I got pushed to the center again. Pushed you towards the right. Yeah, I mean, I've always been, I don't know. It's hard to, I don't really know what conservative means anymore. I'm kind of scared because it's kind of turning into like how libertarian means nothing. I think conservative is kind of turning into that a little bit, and it's hard to tell, but it's just easier to say right leaning because that's the truth. Because it's like I'm not a traditionalist at all. So I'm like, I don't know. Oh my gosh, John. I have been thinking of doing like some reactions on here. It's just, it sucks because my internet sucks. Oh gosh. John Doyle is not. John Doyle's, I've told you guys, he's a communist. He is literally a communist. He is just a traditionalist communist, which exists. Yeah, he's a communist. Like, he's not. No. You can be a traditionalistic communist. That does exist. So it's as if you're worried about that, then conservative has changed a long time. People representing it by the neocon conservatives. That's true. I mean, neocon, I just feel like, I think you have to be kind of more specific. Caleb, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to. Just because I think conservative and liberal, they're too broad. So it's like you don't really know what somebody is when they say that. The same thing with libertarian. You don't really know. What does that mean? You know? You don't really know. So it's like, would I call myself a conservative? I would. I'm in the conservative umbrella because on most policy positions, like, I want a secure border. I care about taxes being lower, and economic issues are very important to me. But I care about morality. I care about, stuff like that. I'm super big on being sober, for example. I'm a huge person towards sobriety. I don't believe in being a whore, for example. So there's a lot of things where there are certain moral issues. I'm not 100% pro-life, but I'm like 95% pro-life. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would consider myself a conservative, but I'm not like going to be upset by a calendar. I don't think schmorn should be banned. But I'm not against you having to put in your ID. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. I don't think schmorn is good. I think it's mostly bad, but there are other people that think it's bad and horrible, but it's like, I have a little bit softer views on certain things. Obviously, I don't have an issue with homosexuality. But I don't like pride parades, I don't like public sex acts. I think that's horrible, so I like monogamy, right? So these are certain moral issues that I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm a libertarian. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Because it's not just economic issues that I care about. I do care about moral issues, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't care about a calendar. I don't know. I know I'm crazy. I guess I missed the train, I don't know. I don't care. So it's like, I'm not that kind of, I'm not an evangelical. That's what it is. I'm not an evangelical. That's how, and I'm sick of evangelical being synonymous with conservative. Like, I do think that needs to change because not every conservative is evangelical. Like, I'm even a Christian, but I'm more of like a mystic Christian, which is a little different. I'm not evangelical. So it's like, that's what it is. Gosh. There we go. Oh my gosh. And I don't hate evangelicals. I don't. I'm not like other people who hate evangelicals. I don't. I'm just not one. I don't agree. It's no hate. I just don't agree with you, you know? Um, and that's okay. Like, maybe I agree with evangelicals on like 90% of things religiously, but that 10% or that 5%, I just don't agree. And it's like, that's life, you know? We don't always agree on everything 100%. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. It's just so weird. But yeah, that's why I'm like, I feel like I should call myself a conservative. But I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing. What do you think? I'm gonna ask Sam. Sam knows about that type of stuff. What do you read? Like, what would you consider me, Sam? I ditched the labels ages ago for this reason. I get that, Caleb. I totally get it. It's really difficult. Do you love the book Genderqueer and Bye Bye Binary? I don't know those books. I don't. I don't know them. Trodcon. Shut up, Sam. What do you really think I would be? That's ridiculous. Okay, well, I get that, Caleb, but denominations exist. Like, people have different views, you know, which is fine. Um, so that's kind of how I view it. It's like, okay. Sam is such a troll. Yeah, I'm a tradcon that's gay. We'll probably get gay married and we'll probably do surrogacy. That's super tradcon, Sam. You're dead on. John Doyle 2.0. Sam is being a butt right now. Sam was like, "You're a libertarian, Alex. You're a libertarian." I'm like, "I'm not." Hey, Newly. I'm not a gay Sydney Watson either. For the record. But I don't have any issues with gay Sydney Watson types. Like, I'm fine. Love them, you know, get along great. I don't ask them why they aren't Christian every single day. Oh, thank you, Newly. So let me ask Newly then. So I do feel like I belong in the umbrella of conservative, but like, what kind of conservative would I be considered? Because I'm not tradcon and I'm not evangelical. So like, Sam's saying I'm traditionalist communist, uh, like John Doyle. Well, yeah, MAGA for sure, but like, what does that mean though in terms of ideology? Just like, I I care about a secure border and financial policy, and you know, I'm not for critical. I don't like critical race theory or, oh gosh, Caleb, don't ever call me that. Ew. I don't like being called queer, for example. I'm not a fan of that. Um, you know, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm Christian, but I am mystical Christian. So it's still a little different. Mystic Christian. Different. It's like if you could put me I would put it this way, kind of, but not really. Um, but it's kind of like I do get along with Sam really, really great. And Sam's a spiritualist. And I can get along with Christians really great, you know? And I'm kind of like in between those, if that makes any sense. But I don't believe in talking to the dead. That's where Sam is evil to me. I don't do that. But there's just certain things where I feel like it does go against my faith. And Andrew Jackson, what does that mean? Oh my gosh, you guys are throwing me off. You guys are weirding me out. So, yeah. I don't know. Yes, because Sam is evil. So, of course, he did. Not only is Sam homophobic, racist, sexist, etc., systemically oppressive, but he also is demonic because he talks to the dead. But for me, I don't. That's the line I didn't cross. I did have Sam do a reading on me once, but I didn't want anything like that. And he respected that. So I liked that. I'm glad Sam did respect that. And Sam did predict a knee injury on my right knee, and I did. And I remember when I fell horrifically around my birthday, I was like, Sam literally told me that I was going to have an issue with my right knee. And it was so fugly. No, well, kind of, maybe. I'm just kidding, really. No, there's no new darling. I know, Caleb, and that's totally fine. I respect you not believing in it completely. Trust me. But I do because I'm crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So Celtic gets it. It's where you're kind of in between a little bit. Um, you know, and that's completely valid, Caleb. I get that too. Like, I think agnostic is the default. So I totally respect it as a position. I think it's a respectable decision. Not decision, position. Gosh, I can't even talk. But again, I mean, my friend Eric, he's my best friend and he's atheist. He's gay Sydney Watson, you know. I love him to death. Like I really do. And there's so many like conservative atheists. So it's like I don't like that evangelical and conservative are the same word. It's like they're not the same thing and it's annoying. Yeah. Yeah. I think so, Lisa. I agree with that. I mean, I'm not into, for me, I don't try to communicate with spirits. I don't try to talk to the dead. Like I've done it a couple times, but I've told you guys it was like under weird circumstances. Like I was dying. So when you're near death, the veil is thin and you start to see shit and like you can have a more easy communication with otherworldly things, which I didn't want at the time, but um you know, it is what it is. It's a very spiritual time when I was like really low like that. And then the other time was 2022, just because the veil was thin. So I had a couple times where the veil was just universally thin, where I accidentally communicated with stuff that I didn't want to. But usually I can't, thank God. But I know a lot of people who can. So yeah. I'm very much a believer in psychic abilities and that kind of stuff, just because I have some myself. And yeah. Yeah, I could see that, Sam. But I think it was also at that time for me, it was because I was near death. So it's like, woo, you know, you start to see things. It's really crazy to think about because I am so okay now. Really crazy. I'm completely okay. Like I'm not super healthy, but I'm fine. It's crazy. The node wasn't in Pisces, it was in Sag, actually. So it's different. But anyways, that was when everybody was talking about critical race theory, critical race theory. That's when that was the big thing. Every time the nodes shift, the topics shift. So it was like during North Node in Gemini, it was critical race theory, critical race theory, critical race theory. Well, when COVID started, it was in Cancer, but it was at the very end. And then it went into Gemini. And then that's when critical race theory became a huge topic. I think it went into Gemini like around June of 2020. Yeah. The North Node. So the South Node was in Sagittarius during 2020 and 2021. And then in 2022, it switched to Scorpio and Taurus, and that's when everything was about inflation. So that's when it was inflation and trans and LGBT and, you know, all that stuff became the big, huge topic over that time. And then now it's shifted again where it's in Aries and Libra. And so now it's like the legal cases and the Trump cases, the wars, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, what do you mean, Lisa? So, yeah, everything right now is about war and peace. And there's a lot of topics about that. Oh, yeah, the nodes shift backwards. So it goes backwards. So that's one of the only things that goes backwards. But they do. So, yeah, I think it's at like 20 degrees Aries now for the North Node. It's around there. So it started at 29 and it went down to 20. So it goes backwards. So the next time it will be in Pisces and Virgo. That'll be in 2025. So we still have quite a bit of time. So yeah, fun times. We got some time. I don't know if it'll be good for me. It's difficult, I think. Like it was really hard when the eclipses were in Leo. It was hard for me. I think it's hard when the eclipses are in your sign. So I'm not looking forward to that time. I'm like, oh gosh. Sam is making me a vision board. Oh my gosh. I didn't tell you, Sam. Well, I kind of told you, but I'll spill some tea. So you guys remember my ASMR artist that I'm like obsessed with? So I'm a little bit less obsessed with him. I think because he just, this is really brutal, but I don't know if I want to say this publicly. I'm being really nasty. Let me just stop. Okay, we're going to hold it back a little bit. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. So, no, I don't want to say it. Oh, gosh, it's so mean. I'm not going to say it. Okay, I'm being gay. I'll just put it to you this way. I'm not as into him anymore. So I'll say that. I won't say why. But I'm not as into him. But I still was looking at stuff, and I think I figured out who his boyfriend is. So that's the power of Twitter. I could find it. It's another OF person. What? Oh, what? Because he's also a spiritualist? Yeah, sure. Ugh. No, it has nothing to do with that. I think it's just okay, fine. I feel like I'm giving too much speculation. This is so mean, but I'm just gonna have to say it. He doesn't look as good. So all my interest in him was based on looks. It was completely shallow and it was completely like he was like a lust thing for me. Obviously, it's not like I was in love with him. But he's just not, he doesn't look as good. And I just, without his looks, there's just nothing there. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, guess I lost my ASMR crush. But I still like his past videos. But hey, I don't know him, so whatever. That's so mean. I'm so mean. How could Sam make me say that? Sam is evil. But anyways, I think his new boyfriend is also on OF, and it's like it's like a blank space. He has like a revolving door. Um, so it's not giving. I see too much. I'm like, I feel like I've seen too much. Where I'm like, yeah, it's just too much. So I'm sorry. I lost a crush. And I grieved it. And I was sad. But it's okay. I still hope for the best and I'll still follow him. But it just ain't it anymore. So now I'm all alone in the world. I'm just kidding. I was anyways. You're on your own, kid. You always have been. So I guess this stream is also for Dr. Riz too. He's another thing I'm saying goodbye to. Oh my God. Anyways. Also, so I need to give you guys my New Year's resolution. So what are you guys, do you guys have any resis? 2, 3, 4. Let me know if you guys have any resolutions. Do you guys have any new resolutions or like New Year's resolutions? So you're just like, I want to be exactly the same. Yeah, that's a good one, Lisa. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Status quo. Status quo is going to be difficult to keep, John. Okay, finish writing a book, lose weight, work on podcasts, get future boyfriend, keep building personal YouTube channel. Okay, Caleb, to get buff. So my New Year's resolution for 2023 was to embrace hate and darkness and say goodbye to love and light. And then I feel like the opposite ended up happening. So my New Year's resolution for 2024 is to go in and try to be haughty and smug. I want to take on the energy of Taylor Swift's You Need to Calm Down. I just want to look down on everybody, judge everybody, and then say that they're just obnoxious and they need to calm down. And if they don't like me, it's their problem. So that's how I want to approach 2024. So 2024 is my year of pride. It's pride year for me. So if you don't like me, it's your problem. That's my approach to 2024. I don't know, Lisa. I think 2024 is going to be even meaner, to be honest. I think there's going to be some cruel summer energy going on in 2024. Okay, I'm going to summon Taylor Swift, then use a banishing ritual to send her back to where she belongs. I am so obsessed. So Sam sent me this meme. I'm so scared to show my phone because I feel like I'm going to show something really scarring. But I am obsessed with this meme. Like Sam sent me this and I love it. It's the best thing ever. It's Taylor Swift as like a skinwalker or something. It's amazing. And I showed it to Eric and Eric was like, he was like, that's her true form or whatever, you know? And I was like, I know. I was like, I know. I know that she's kind of like, there's this evil quality to her, and I'm obsessed. So I just love that meme. I think it's the best thing ever. Eric told me I should print it out and have it as a poster. And I'm like, I literally love it so much. You did not see anything, Caleb. You're a liar. Because I put my phone on airplane mode. Because I just hit my head on the wall because I don't know what the hell is gonna happen. Even though I'm introverted, I feel like I will get something weird right when I'm holding up the phone. Like, no, you didn't see anything. You saw nothing because there's nothing to see because I already protected it. I already checked. You can't gaslight me. Um, well, I'll answer for Sam. I'm going to speak for him because every man needs to be spoken for. Um, I am not straight secretly. I just love Taylor. I love all sides to Taylor. I do. I love the good side and the evil side. So I love both sides, which I feel like means I'm the most Swifty that's Swifty of Swift. I It's not for you to understand. You need to calm down, Shannon. If you don't like her, then it's your problem. I'm just kidding. See, I'm taking on the energy. I'm getting ready. So in 2024, I want to be a false 3. I want to pretend that I'm a 3, an Enneagram 3, and be very prideful, braggadocious, and just talk about how great I am and how everything I do is amazing. That's what I want to do in 2024. And I want to talk about how I'm better than everyone all the time. And that's my resolution for 2024. Don't you dare say the name Celtic. It's over. I've moved on. I even started looking at different ASM artists. It's true. I've moved on. Ooh, that's nice, Caleb. I'm looking for other ASM artists. If you could pull what off, Shannon? You have to be really into deep personal poetry of being a mad woman. I just sang every day. Yes, come to the US and then join in the riots, Caleb. Caleb, you have to join into a protest. That's what you have to do. Pass me. So Sam is making fun of Taylor's lack of note variation because of what is it? Because of Long Story Short, where she goes, pass me. I want to tell yourself not to get lost in petty things. Your nemesis will convince themselves before they get the chance to swing or whatever. I said it wrong, but it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the note. It's like CCB, CC, you know, it's like all the same note. It is true. But I still love her. I don't care. Oh my God. Do not smoke pot. If I meet Caleb and he has a bag of chips in his hand, I'm literally going to slap it out of his hand. I'm going to get vicious. Pass me. Lost in these petty things. Your nemesis. It's because Sam's friend wants to learn some Swifty songs. And she's like a cheesy Swifty, Lisa. Like she likes like all the sentimental crap. Like she likes like Long Live and You Are in Love and Long Story Short, like that kind of thing. So it's not exactly like, you know, I need Sam to listen to Ready for It, where like Taylor's rapping. Like that's where we need Sam. That's where I like Long Story Short. How dare you? Lisa's just against anything Scorpio that Taylor writes. So no, I said Sam's friend likes it. So Sam's friend that he's teaching to sing these songs, which is why he knows them, is Um, she's into all the super sentimental things, like those songs, like Long Live, Long Story Short, You Are in Love, like all those kind of ones. One of mine is Ready for It. I love Ready for It. It's the most extra song ever, and I am really mad that Sam probably hasn't heard it. That's one of the songs where Taylor's demon energy kind of comes through. It like shines through. Let me see. I have to protest. I don't have to protest. I live in Idaho. That's fair enough. Caleb's evil plans. I would slap the chips out of his hand. Oh my god. You need to listen to Ready for It right in New Year's. I wonder if Lisa's going to have a Reputation era soon. Lisa's going into Reputation, yeah. Oh my god. I feel like I'm going into 1989. I feel like that's going to be my next one. It's not bad. Anyways. So what we need to do is we need to get Caleb to not eat chips. You have to slap them out of his hand if you see them. Aw, that's cute, Caleb. They're pretty good. They're very talented, I think. So that's a talented band for sure. Faux show. One Taylor song that doesn't bore you. Oh my gosh. Is there any song that Taylor has that has like variations of notes? Pass me. Get lost in these petty things. Your nemesis. Can convince yourself before you get. I don't even know the lyrics. So I'm like mixing them all up. Before you get the chance to swing. It's passing by. In the sky. Something comes at us. This time I'm ready. Okay. I'm obsessed with Taylor. I literally was stalking her tour. I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessive. I don't think that's ever going to change. I'm scared. I feel like I have inappropriate things on my phone and I don't want it to reflect in my glasses. Okay, so I know what I was doing. Yes. Sam does a lot of things. When he's not working for the devil, he does other things. Okay, so bet, period. Jupiter is now moving direct, Lisa. I wanted to see. So we're on our way to Jupiter and Gemini. It's official. It's official. And so I think we're getting close to all planets direct. Pass me. I wanna take myself to get lost in these petty things. Your nemesis. So this armpit is going crazy, just so you guys know. Anyways, I don't know if I have anything else to say. I feel like I do. Let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Ultraviolence. Oh my gosh, Caleb. I don't like that song. I guess I'm a hater. Well, I don't know. I'm not like anti Lana at all, but I think my favorite is just her first one. I love Born to Die. I love that album. I think it's really good. But ooh, other than that, I was okay with like Honeymoon, but Honeymoon is kind of weird. Your nemesis, so still you're lost in these petty things. And he's passing by, clears in the sky. Dang it, now I have that song in my head. I like that song. I do. Okay. So, anyways. Trying to think. I might be Gooch now. Chemtrails. I haven't listened to that one. But I liked, I don't know, like when you had me listen to Perfect Places, Caleb, I actually really liked that song. I was like, this is a really good song. Ride is definitely one of her best. I like that song. Yeah, I like the Paradise one too, but that's kind of similar to Born to Die. But that album was really good. Like I like that song where she's like an American. Hoo, 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 hoo. And then Burning Desire. I like that song. National Anthem is good. I love that whole album. Love that album. I don't know what that is. I know I do like Gold. I love it. It was good. I also like the one that was like King Under Your Control or something like that. Caleb actually got me to listen to Somebody Gay, and I don't actually hate him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at Caleb finding that for me because I cannot stand Troye Sivan. But I understand why Caleb likes him. It's like a solidarity thing. Totally get it, but I do not like him at all. I actually hate him. So it's not even like just a dislike, it's like a literal hatred. Swedish rock opera. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, I love variety. Like, I don't. And trust me, as a millennial, I got kicked in the ass for it all the time. But I'm like, I'm not huge into variety at all. I'm like, I like the same thing 20 million times. That's probably why I like Taylor. I just want her to sing about the same themes over and over again for all eternity. Oh my God. I need, let's see. I don't know when All Planets Direct is. I don't know the water song. I'm not like relevant. I don't know. I'm irrelevant now. The water song? I wish I could like play something like that on here, but I can't. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Caleb. Caleb's too in the know. Okay, no problem, Lisa. Caleb's too in the know of certain things. I don't know anything. I'm sorry. I'm so like I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm not Gen Z. I don't know anything anymore. I'm just kidding. I didn't really know anything even back in the day because I was like so like not a thing because I don't know, like except back then it wasn't Taylor, it was Paramore. I was like obsessed. But I liked a lot of like rock and stuff when I was in high school. I liked like post grunge, like a lot of emo, like really, really emo stuff. Like I loved like Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, Evanescence. I liked, that kind of stuff. I'm sure Sam kind of remembers those bands, but they're all kind of like emo and like, you know, they're the kind of bands that were like rock bands, but you could like cry when you listen to it. They were kind of gothic. I loved Paramore. Paramore was really cheesy and gay, and I was obsessed with Paramore, but I'm so over them now. Like, I just find Haley to be like such an SJW, and I can't, like, I just can never, I just can't. Like, Paramore, she was playing Misery Business. I think she's on the Eros tour, like the band, they're on the Eros tour. And she's like gonna play Misery Business, which is like their most famous song. And she's like, this is a song about misogyny. And I'm just like, Haley, you disgust me. Like, get out of my face. I just am so disgusted. So it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Hate it. You will like Nightwish. I don't know. I don't like anybody. I don't like anything. Everything is evil. Get it together. Pass me. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna sing that song every time I talk to Sam on the phone now. I'm gonna answer the phone with that song. It's passing by, clouds in the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay. 3. So it's a lot of multiples of 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we're going to do it here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, sorry. Okay. Gucci now. I like some K-pop. I do like some, but very limited. But I do like some Blackpink songs. Like I really like Love Sick Girls, which is really cheesy. Super cheesy song, but I actually really like it. And then I like some like artists that are kind of irrelevant that I'm not going to talk about. So I feel like I look thinner already. I'm losing the mood. I'm losing the water weight. John hates everything. I'm just kidding. That's my prediction. I'm just kidding. What is your favorite musician, John? Yeah, I like Love Sick Girls. I do like that song. It's very Gen Z, but I do like it. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting on okay, Coldplay. Okay. I remember like back in the day when I think it was Coldplay, they did this cheesy song with the Chainsmokers, which for some reason I kind of liked the Chainsmokers, which is really random and weird. And I felt like I never would have liked the Chainsmokers in another life. Oh my god, John, I hate Maroon 5. Anyways, sorry. um, but I remember the cheesy song, Something Just Like This, and it was so cheesy, but I loved it so much. And I still love it. I do. I think it's a really good song. I think I've literally cried to it because it's so, like, sentimental and cheesy. But I have my moments. Oh, Viva La Vida. Okay, I'm not as big into that song, but it's not terrible. Yeah, Clocks is basic. Clocks is good, but it's just kinda old. But I do kinda remember Viva La Vida. It was a thing back in the day. But yeah, Clocks is a good song. Um Oh my gosh. I don't like Maroon 5. I don't know why. I think I just have bad associations. And I think it was one of those things where, like, everybody loved them, and as a teenager, if everybody loved it, it, like, made me hate it. So there's kind of a few of those bands where it, like, everybody just constantly, like, played it up to the point where it made me hate them. So, Maroon 5. I also just really don't like Adam Levine at all, if that's his name. I can't remember his name, but I can't stand him as a person. Like, it's just a personal thing. It's totally biased. I just don't like his personality. And it's just cringy, and I just didn't like him, I guess. But, like, other bands I couldn't stand that were in this category. I couldn't stand, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Hated them. Literally hated them so much, like and I used to be so extra as a teenager, like, I would literally be like, "I can't be in this car if this is playing," like, I was one of those. It's really gay. And, like, I'd just be like, "Please change it, oh my gosh." Okay, I do like the Goo Goo Dolls. That I do like. Um, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers couldn't stand. Like, I remember Danny California, I hated that song. I was like, "Oh my gosh," and it was played all the time and hated it. There was this other one, I can't remember. Oh gosh. There were so many that I didn't like. The Smiths, what's The Smiths, Ghosta? A founding member of the band formerly known as the Dixie Chicks passed away recently. Yeah, I remember the Dixie Chicks, like, I wasn't huge into them, but I just remember they got canceled, and, Taylor, like, did a whole thing about them, and she made a point to have them on her album and, like, all this stuff, and it's like, "Okay, whatever, Taylor." Um Yeah, you should have figured that, Ghosta, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You have to know that, Sam. You're lying. You didn't know that? Oh, you're saying you didn't know that the person passed away. Oh, Aqua? No, not into it. And I'm not into the Barbie thing. It just no, I don't like variety. You guys, you're expecting me to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a musical connoisseur." Like, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not into that, Costa. It's I told you guys I'm not into variety. I don't like it. As far as my music, I guess. I like all the same type of shit, like, over and over again. Oh my god. Um, yeah, I like Taylor and her 4 notes. I like Taylor and her, like, 4 themes where she just sings about love, her haters, rage, and like being better than other people or like judging other people. Those are my favorite songs of hers. That's my favorite themes. I'm just kidding. No, I do like Taylor a lot, obviously, but I like other stuff too. It's just not a lot. Like I loved like last year, I loved Machine Gun Kelly. He put out an album last year. I loved it. It's called gosh, Mainstream Sellout. Loved it. I like Machine Gun Kelly's rock. I loved Avril Lavigne's album. She put out an album last year. I loved it. It's called Love Sucks, and it was like pop punk rock kind of thing. Loved it. Um, I don't know if she does, to be honest. I have no idea. She's so like I don't know her on a personal level. I would have no idea what she's into. My hair is getting long. I can start to play with it. Greedy, I haven't heard it, Kayla. If you have to ask, I probably haven't heard it. But it was cool. Like I loved those 2 new albums that came out last year. I felt like really on fleek because I was actually watching some like or listening to something new for once in my life. And I was like, this is actually really good. So I hope there's more like pop punk type of vibes. I liked a couple of the songs on Olivia's Rodrigo's new album. I really like Get Him Back and Pretty Isn't Pretty. Those are the 2 that I like. Um, I liked that song Chemical that came out, I think this year. But that song was kind of too like it was very close to home for me with how I felt about like my breakup and stuff. Um, it's by Post Malone. So I liked that song. Like I like kind of basic stuff. I'm really basic. Very mainstream person. Like I always have been. So and I used to get a lot of shit for that back in the day because people were so extra. Like as a millennial, they were just like, "Oh my gosh, like you don't like anything," or like, "Oh, that's so mainstream. Oh my gosh." Da, da, da. I don't even know what that is. Oh my god, Gusta. Who even knows? I have no idea. I told you. I don't even know if Sage is alive. Like, I have no clue. So that's horrible to say, but I don't even know. I have no way of knowing. I know it is sad. It's very, very, very sad. But it just feels like everything's been really crazy for a lot of years. Tate McRae went viral this year. See, I don't know who these people are. I don't know how you know this stuff. Yeah, she did. She seemed like she had zero hope. Yeah, I agree completely, Gusta. Yeah, I agree, Gusta. I hope Lord comes out with an album next year. She comes out with albums at weird times. I think she took too long after that one. Oh man, have you been, Gusta? I haven't seen you in a minute on here anyway. I haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, so basically the same. No promotions, new jobs, no moving, nothing like that. Nothing happened. Is your neighbor still irritating you? Okay, no problem, Caleb. I've been going on for a long time. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go, but no problem, Caleb. See you later. Oh, nice, Shannon. So nothing's changed. Is your neighbor the same? Okay. For you guys that don't know, he used to have like these really loud neighbors that were horrible. I did too. We had like dueling horrible neighbors. So that was fun. Oh my god, my hair is so crazy. I have like major hot head. Gosh, I should probably go. It's getting late, but I don't want to, but I have to. Because I'm kind of getting tired. Okay. So I went on for too long. They're gone such a long time. Oh yeah, those neighbors. Okay. Well, I gotta do dishes and just gay, stupid shit. It's boring as fuck. So I guess I should get going, but now I have hiccups. So hopefully everything continues. We're good. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Dishes are kind of gay, yeah. It's kind of gay to do the dishes. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.